What's good? Did I tell you? Did I not tell you? Did we not tell you? We said we were about to crush Orange for 2 weeks in a row. What's good, LL Nation? Notre Dame fans everywhere. We're probably about 7 to 8 minutes away from Marcus Freeman's Monday presser. We'll bring that video to you like we do every Tuesday. Chop it up with what the head coach of Notre Dame has to say. Welcome to the Lucky Lefty podcast. I'm Shaun Davis. Lefty will be here shortly, handling some business on social media. He's coming right in a few minutes. We are brought to you by Onora Whiskey. Onora Whiskey. OnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey. OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure that you drink
responsibly.
Yeah. Left. I just want to start off by saying you are the Zen master, my brother.
The Zen master.
Your 3 keys and your stick to the script were right on point. Just an amazing night. Notre Dame 35, Clemson 14. You said Notre Dame needs to score 30 points to win this game. They were able to do that in all 3 facets, contributing. But this is the crazy thing, Left. They probably left 14 to 17 points on the field, if we're going to keep it real. The score could have been much worse. Like, if you think Dabo was disappointed, losing 35 to 14, heck, it could have been 52 to 7, if we're going to keep it a buck. That's how dominant this Notre Dame team was on Saturday night.
I mean, it was beautiful. It was the culmination of everything that we wanted to speak into existence, of what we needed to take and do to get to the next level against these teams that we kept falling to. We came out, we started fast. We talked about that. We didn't look like the team that played against the trees a couple weeks ago starting out. We played like we knew something was on the line. Obviously, the Recruiting Bowl championship, plus all the stars that was there. You had Jalen Smith there. You can't lose with Jalen Smith in the building. You know what I'm saying?
He was real New Yorkish, bro.
That's
he
right.
Was real New Yorkish with the little leopard.
That's right. That's right. Hey, listen, and he's balling right now. So that's
right.
Julian Love was in the building. Tavon Coney was in the building. Bunch of greats in the building. So with all that energy and all that hype and the fans and everybody included getting into the game, especially when we started to pour it on, we actually made a hostile environment for the first time in a long time. And the best thing about it is Marcus Freeman is leading the charge, and he handled it well. He even showed some emotion in the post game. He showed some emotion seeing that, what he planned in the beginning of the season, it looked like that on Saturday night against Clemson. They had no answer. DJ and the other quarterback, Cade Klubnik, looked inept. They couldn't run. They couldn't throw. And that's just an offensive line, man. Harry Heastan gets the MVP of the game, and everybody included, man. That offensive line was kicking ass. They're getting better each and every week, like we say. Because we have an offensive line, we're in every game automatically. It just so happened that we just wasn't taking no for an answer, and we was kicking butt. And that Clemson D-line with Brian Brzee and KJ Jefferson and all those guys they look like JUCO players that night.
Let me ask you a question, and then we'll get to the LL question of the day. You were there. You've seen these guys. How does this O-line stack up against Q and the crew back in the day?
I mean, I can't rank them over Q and the crew, but, but they're the team. They have the O-line that you need to win everything with. I'm convinced of that. I'm convinced that we can go in there and block a Georgia long enough and Alabama long enough. We blocked Ohio State long enough. We just, wasn't trying to throw it. But we have the O-line that can win it all, and that's for damn sure. Lucky
Lefty podcast. It was an incredible night for recruiting. Now, bro, the recruits made like one of the biggest mistakes of their lives, bro. They got caught up in the rapture a little bit.
The rapture.
They rushed the field with the fans, bro.
That's right.
And they immediately realized it was the wrong thing to do.
The wrong thing to do.
Because they were like, wait a minute. We're supposed to be in the locker room with the coaches and players.
Yeah, going up. We can't even get there now.
Dude, how are we going to get there?
Yeah.
Like literally, Christian Gray told me, he said, yo, I immediately realized I should not have done this.
Yes.
He said he found an offensive lineman. He said he found a big offensive lineman and just stayed behind him all the way to the locker room.
Right. That's
and he said it took them about 5 to 7 minutes just to get to the locker room. He said it was bananas, but that's just all of the recruits. Every recruit that was in the building rushed the field.
That's right.
And their parents. All of them.
That's right.
Bananas.
If we don't get them all to commit on that plane ride home, I don't know what else you can do.
Crazy scene.
I don't know what else you can do.
And shout out to Notre Dame for understanding that was going to happen and then allowing the parents to come down on the field before everyone rushed the field. So the players and the parents were already on the sideline as the clock wound down. Say it again.
We should have ran in the middle of the fourth quarter. It was over before then. It was over.
Man, look, that game, but I'm going to be honest, bro. You called me because Malik, the reason we didn't do a post-game show is that, you know, I had something else to do. Malik was out in the bar celebrating and talking that trash, watching the game.
That's right.
He was on the left coast chirping at everybody else as USC almost lost the cow.
Yeah, I got to deal with these SC guys. Yeah,
I'm coming to y'all heads in a couple of weeks. Don't worry. Right. Get your D-line ready. Y'all little light in the pants. You're a little light in the pants. Get your
neck rolls on. You know, you're going to need them.
Right. We don't care about you having the most sacks in the country. We don't throw the ball enough. No. It ain't that type of game.
No, it ain't even that type of thing.
Put some bricks in your pants.
Yeah, it's TFLs only. Yeah, ain't a bunch of sacks. It's TFLs you got to get. That's right.
Yo, so we'll get to Marcus Freeman and some of the things he had to say. Logan Diggs and what he had to say. And a star was born Saturday night.
A star.
He wears the number 20.
Not Shaun Crawford. Shout out to Shaun Crawford, but not Shaun Crawford.
Shaun, we love you. Shout out to you in Varsity House. Everything you do.
Brian Kelly that win. You know, gave Brian Kelly a win. Gave him some more experience.
Shout out to you, bro.
Shout out to Shaun.
He might take that number 20 to another level.
Yeah.
He might be ready to take that number 20 to the level. So we're here from the star as well. Give me your 3 biggest takeaways from the game.
3 biggest takeaways is that we are who we thought we were. You know what I mean? Marcus Freeman is the team is coming together just how Marcus Freeman imagined it. The second thing, recruiting Super Bowl. We winning in big moments. You know, we didn't get the Ohio State thing done, but we can rest on this Clemson win at number 4. We didn't beat number 2, but we beat number 4. Damn it! So we in the conversation of we should be jumping a lot of these teams that's currently ranked ahead of us, but we still got games to go. And last but not least, if we had one more guy in the right position, I really think this could be a team that can make a run on something serious, especially in the state of college football right now. Those are my 3.
NY6 Bowl. See, people thought we were crazy, bro. Remember about a week before the Syracuse game, we said, look, this team can run the table in November.
Yeah.
This team can run the table in November. And everybody was like, man, I don't even know if we can beat Navy. We lost to Stanford. We lost to Marshall. And we were like, okay. All right, keep looking at the negative.
Are contenders because we have an O-line and a D-line. Teams get sorrier as the year goes on naturally. We only get better because we got Harry Heastan and a D-line.
A washed-up Harry Heastan.
Yeah.
At Ohio State, Notre Dame fans said he was washed up.
Yeah, washed. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, he's washed up.
Work in. My favorite coach. Every time. We are always contenders in November because of our foundation. We can run that football. It's hard to put on passing performances week to week unless you Ohio State playing against chumps. It's hard. So for us to have a three-headed monster and Logan Diggs is coming on right on time, Chris Tyree coming on right on time, Audric Estimate doing what he does best, and that's running forward. That's something that you're going to have to physically be ready for week to week. And in November, guys is banged up. Guys has been on emotional tours because they live for the beginning of the season. They ain't never been that good that early.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't never been that relevant that early. You know, we relevant every week. So it ain't nothing new to us. But the thing is, we got a battery put in our back because we got Marcus Freeman.
Eventually, I want to get to this tweet you put out this morning about the third down conversions, and which was a crazy stat that you put out because the way they
put it out. P. Sampson put it out. I had to.
Oh, you had to snatch it? Well, shout out to P. Sampson for that stat. But I look. Hey, man. It's been a long time since I seen Notre Dame this dominant or this physical over anybody, bro. Forget a good team. It's been a long time since I've seen Notre Dame be
comfortably dominant.
Yes.
Comfortably. Like we said, we were the bullies today. We could do that every week.
Yes.
That's what's crazy. We can do that every week.
And we give a shout out and assist. For the rest of the season, we're giving an assist. I'm a believer in prayer manifestation, bro. I believe in the power of words. And I believe when you put words into the atmosphere, they manifest themselves.
That's right.
It's a real thing. So we have to give an assist to this Notre Dame team of what we're seeing for the rest of the season to Dino Babers. He put it out there. We didn't believe him. We didn't believe all of it, but he put it out there. And if you missed it, we always give an assist every Monday after a win for the rest of the season to Dino Babers.
Fun. This is what all these young men come in to play, this opportunity. You're going into Death Valley with this university.
Wrong clip. That's my bad. Come on, Shaun. You got to get the right clip. You got to get Dino, baby.
I know. Yeah, you got to get Dino, man. Get the black man on there.
I just messed up. Man, I brought it in perfectly. Oh, man. That ain't it either. Dude, go ahead and talk about the game, bro. I'm trying to mess up the whole intro.
That's okay. That's okay. We gonna get that right.
I'm sorry, LL Nation.
But listen, one of the things Dino said was, "Have you seen those ties?" And that's exactly what Clemson's defense was saying, trying to tackle Audric Estimate. They didn't want to tackle him in the second half of the game. They didn't want to tackle Logan Diggs because the thing was, we were getting to the second level. When the last time Clemson's linebackers and safeties had to hit the guy first? Never. Right. Never. They cleaning up tackles and jumping on the pod. They was like, oh, wait. This Oklahoma drill.
I love LL. They getting on me, bro. They sound out here like Drew Pine right now.
That's crazy.
Fabulous team, outstanding offensive personnel. Their tight ends and NFL tight end. Their defense is just as good as Clemson's. Okay, and that's not to talk bad about the offense. They have three tailbacks. They rotate three tailbacks. They've got a big bruiser. They got a shifty and they got a speed guy, and they are all good. And they are difficult to bring down behind that offensive line, which is always good. Notre Dame always has a big-time offensive line. And when they get the tight ends next to them, they have a tendency to be able to run the ball on anybody they want.
Yep. Shout out to Dino. He put it out there. That's what we've been seeing. We saw it in Syracuse, JMA. We saw it in South Bend against, wait a minute, an NFL defensive line.
Yeah.
You can't run on those dudes.
How?
You have to lean on Drew Pine.
Yeah, we got to.
If Drew Pine doesn't throw for 200, we can't win this game.
In trouble.
We're in trouble. Lucky Lefty podcast. We told you, and we gave you the stat on Friday.
On Friday.
Running backs from Syracuse and Florida State averaged just under 5 yards a pop the last 2 games.
Heating up.
But all we heard is you can't run on Clemson.
You can't do that.
They're going to expect you to run. No, you can't do that. There's no way you can run on Clemson.
No,
they're going to be expecting it. They're too big, too fast, too good.
Too strong, too D1.
Sit down. Yeah. That's exactly what Notre Dame did.
It's the baby. It's the baby.
They walked up to the bully, man. Sit down.
You know where you at? You in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? You in the jungle, man. You lost. You don't know where to go.
The atmosphere was crazy on Saturday night. Marcus Freeman said this was a special one.
This is a special one. And, not every day do you get the opportunity to play in this place, jam-packed with those fans, and have an opportunity to be the top 5 team in the country. It's really special, and I'm so proud of our guys and the way they continue to trust us coaches. They do exactly what you ask them to do. That's what makes them so special, is that they're willing to do whatever you tell them to do to help us have success. And it's an honor to coach them. It's special, man. You can hear those fans, man, the students. And I really didn't want to leave that field. I mean, to spend some time with those students. And, man, this is a game that I'll never forget. But extremely pleased with the way our guys played. Offense, defense, special teams, all 3 phases really played well. And we're going to enjoy this one. We're going to enjoy it tonight, enjoy it tomorrow. And then at some point tomorrow, we got to get back to work and get ready for Navy. But this is a special win for me and for this football program.
Look, we know it's special. We know what it meant. You called it the Super Bowl of recruiting for Notre Dame. And that went fantastic.
Yep.
Dude, this weekend could not have gone any better for the class of 23, the class of 24.
That's right.
Even for the class of 25. Chopped it up with Roger Bell. His son was there, a 26 quarterback. Roger Bell, by the way, if you haven't seen his picture floating around, that dude had to be the best dressed dad of any recruit in the building. Check out his sneakers, bro. That's all I got to say. Just check out his sneakers. I was like, okay, I see you. But his son, Diabell, big-time 26 quarterback, true freshman. Left, we couldn't have written a better script. Let's talk about how it starts. Special teams. Brian Mason. Once again, 6th block on the season. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't officially get credited for another one, but Foskey, if I'm not mistaken, got his fingertips barely on another one later in the game. Special teams has become a headache for the rest of the schedule. Like, everyone has to worry about where they're coming from. And if you saw the clip, there's a clip floating around of Brian Mason and talking to his squad before the game and telling them, look, based upon if they do this, because they tend to do this, if they do this, we're going to come right up the middle and get one. And that's exactly what they did.
That's exactly what they did. And I think the special teams is what really got the energy going in the building and got ignited the offense and defense, especially to see Prince Colley go in there and get a score and just how the fans reacted. I just think it was one of those things where Brian Mason set the tone. We talked a little bit about that earlier, about special teams and being special. And they were special that night. And I think without that play sequence, it's a little slower for us to get started how we did after that. But I think that shook Clemson in a lot of ways too, because that was probably like a routine punt situation for them
Yeah.
On top of the fact they're not expecting us to even be aggressive like that.
No.
We're just going to, play tit for tat until we just get warm and blow them out.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting us to go after it. We got it. I know it shook him, shook Dabo. He probably, had to, give us a head nod on that. Like, all right, you got me on that. But I think we making routes. I mean, we're making a change in the narrative that we can't be an aggressive team at home and even away.
Shout out to Brian Schmidt. Said he's 60 years old and he stormed the field, dude. That's an amazing night. That's right. An absolute amazing night. Good question right here from my boy Ashley Hill. When did the O-line wake up? They woke up when they were given the opportunity to do what they can do. And Jared Patterson was not healthy until week 4. He was not 100%, and Jared Patterson has played some of the best ball I've seen him play at Notre Dame over the last 3 weeks. When this offensive line got healthy and was given the opportunity, which was midway through the second quarter of the Cal game, but Tommy Rees was like, look, you know what, Drew? That's all right. Don't worry about it. Hey, Harry, go to work.
That's right.
From that point on, with a minor hiccup against Stanford, O-line has pretty much carried this offense.
Yeah, I mean, we know that because we know where we lack in other areas, but the O-line is what gives us a chance, man. And when you have O-line, you can run a lot of different things that may take time to set up, or you can, switch the style of offenses to be more conservative because you can run the ball or be more aggressive and know you got time in the pass game. So I think a lot of what our success comes from is the play action and our ability to be consistent on that offensive line. It's not like defenses can scheme against a Kane Madden and then just put their best player on that. I think we've really got a pretty solid up front to where it's not a particular guy you can single out. You just got to play good across the board defensively, especially on the defensive line. And not a lot of teams have complete defensive lines.
You know what? You hear NFL offensive line, but is it like, they had Wilkins and Lawrence, 2 first-round defensive tackles back in 18-19, right? Or like pretty much 15 through 18. They don't have Brazil as a first-rounder. Miles Murphy on the end might be second day. But we said it all weekend. This isn't the same defensive line that they've had. They're good.
Yeah, but
they're not as dominant.
They're not 4 All-Americans.
Yeah. So Coach Freeman talked about his special teams and Brian Mason.
Did it again. That group did it again. And kudos Coach Mason, his hard work and his preparation. And I challenged that group yesterday. I said, listen, you won't surprise anybody. Everybody in the country knows you're coming after a punt. And but when you find ways to execute and you find ways to play with relentless effort, it doesn't matter if a team knows you're coming after a punt or not. And that's why I'm so happy for that group because, listen, everybody knows we're coming after punts. And for them to go out there and be able to execute, we're not tricking anybody. It's about the way we teach it and the way they go out and they execute. And today was a great job by that punt block unit.
Pretty much the same thing with the run game. They know we got to run. They know what we're going to do. We just go execute. All 3 phases, most complete game of the season, without a doubt. Like this, it's not even close. They don't even have a game that comes anywhere near. And I thought they played about 3/4 of a complete game against North Carolina, and then it kind of got away from them defensively towards the end of the third. But this right here, man, they beat the hell out of Clemson. I'm trying to be nice. They beat the hell out of Clemson, bro. They embarrassed Clemson. Embarrassed them.
Yeah, we just threw Clemson in the ACC bin. Just put them back in there.
27 regular season to all of those that think Notre Dame would struggle with a conference schedule, that's 27 consecutive regular season wins against the ACC. 27. Count it up. About to be 28 when Boston College comes a calling. Read that.
It's gonna
Run
be
it
tough.
over.
I don't understand. The ACC don't got enough for us.
No.
I would like to see Alabama play our schedule. I'd like to see some of these. I'd like to see Ohio State play our schedule. They struggling with Penn State. What is going on over there?
You have so much disrespect for the Big Ten, bro. Lucky Lefty podcast. Hey, bro, one of the great things about this game is that you got an opportunity, as Marcus Freeman said, this was a special one. And you got an opportunity to see Notre Dame. We were worried about the fans and Clemson, having a lot of orange in the stands. Bro, this was on TV. This is one of the loudest games I've heard come through the TV. It was an absolute electric atmosphere. Everyone that I talked to that was there, said, yo, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And even though there were a lot of Clemson fans, most of them were leaving in the third quarter. Like that, Clemson fans were literally leaving the stadium in the third quarter.
To go to the bookstore to get some Irish gear. Because we converted some people last night. We converted some people.
That's what happened. We baptized them and converted them, bro.
Yeah, they jumped in the pool where touchdown Jesus was. They didn't took the Clemson jerseys off, said, I'm free.
Yeah.
I'm free of Dabo.
Look, you are crazy. You are crazy. Marcus Freeman, man, he told us on Monday, and we pointed this out. When a coach tells you that his team is ready on Monday for a game on Saturday, you might want to be real careful.
Yeah.
About how you approach them. And he said he's pretty much like, yo, this is the dominant team that I always said we had.
I don't want to say we physically dominated them.
Yeah, you did.
But we knew going in, Tim,
that
we have to run the ball. You look at every game that we've won. I think we've rushed the ball 40-plus times. That's been our backbone. And we knew this defense line was special, but we couldn't shy away from our strength. And it was a challenge to our offensive line, challenge to our quarterback, challenge to our running back. But you know what? I think at some point during the game, their confidence kind of rose and said, listen, we can block anybody in the country. And they showed they could do that tonight.
Anybody in the country. USC, go get some bricks. Put them in your pants. They coming.
Yeah.
They coming. And they do. Dabo looked at his defensive coordinator in the fourth quarter and said, yo, somebody mentioned in the chat, I talked about on the postgame show. He said, yo, we got to do something different. There's nothing you can do, bro. Ain't nothing you can do. Nothing. Two tight ends. Here we come. Nothing you can do. You blitzed up the middle. You blitzed off the edge. Beautiful. Look, man, let me say this. Michael Mayer played one of the most selfless games I've ever seen him play at Notre Dame. Might have been his best blocking game ever in Notre Dame. And they knew how they wanted to attack their running game. And play after play, series after series, every quarter, they kept bringing Michael Mayer across the formation to smash Murphy, to smash Nasco, to smash whoever was on the edge. They just opened up run lanes all night long. And he finally was able to break the record on the TD reception in the fourth quarter. Shout out to him. And shout out, look, this game was about this season, recruiting. We do what we do every day, and we spend it different. We're authentic, and that's why people like us. That's why people tune in. But I will say this, my brother. We don't like criticizing players, but we call it like we see it. We're fair. And in that fairness, JD Bertrand, you played your tail off, boy.
Yeah.
You hear me? Last 2 weeks, you showing me something, JD.
Right.
You're showing me something. Speed, instincts, good eyes. 12 tackles, 9 solo. Do your thing, boy. Keep doing it because you're going to get a lot of opportunities against Navy this week. You're going to have a lot of opportunities for tackles this week. So shout out to JD because we've been critical. But when he deserves praise like he does for his play the last 2 weeks, we're going to heap a whole bunch of it on him. Shout out to him. That defense of what Al Golden did. He refused. You said this all week, bro. That was one of your keys. Do not allow DJ Uagalele to get comfortable.
Right.
And if Cade Klubnik comes in the game, you said come after him. That's what you said. Go get him. And it led to the interception on his second play from scrimmage. You were spot on, Left. Spot on.
I'm telling you, I think that we really got the recipe down with Al Golden. I saw a safety blitz that came right on time, included with J.D. Bertrand, and they affected the throw. Yeah. I saw that specifically, and I mentioned it because it means that we're learning and we're getting better week to week. Ohio State, we was running from the end zone all the way trying to get to the quarterback. Now we timed it up just right with Tariq Bracy and J.D. Bertrand. It looked good. So I think that, it's just a special time for us to look like we're hitting our stride at the right time of the season, especially with a couple more big games on the schedule that, who knows where it can put us. I think if we continue to play like this, though, we can climb within the top 10 pretty fast.
Lucky Lefty podcast. And not only that, Isaiah Foskey, shout out to you. Shout out to you, bro. It started with you getting that block special teams. That kind of ignited him, got him going. Came up big. Pass rushing against Syracuse came up big again. Multiple pressures. Sack against Clemson on Saturday night. Big game from him. Cam Hart, in my opinion, set the tone, bro. Second play of the game. Clemson tried to come in and go to the perimeter. Why? Because everybody has been able to out-leverage Notre Dame on the perimeter all year long. Can't blame Clemson for coming in with that game plan. They tried to get the ball out of DJ's hands, get it to their playmakers on the perimeter. The Notre Dame defensive backs were there all night. Physical, blowing up blocks, making tackles right at the line of scrimmage. Benjamin Morrison. But Cam Hart, he calls a holding call, and then he flies through and makes the tackle on the quick screen. He set the tone. And I was like, okay, if Cam was going to ball tonight, this secondary is about to be legit all night. And they were. And shout out to Benjamin Morrison being named the Walter Camp National FBS Player of the Week as a true freshman at cornerback. Shout out to you, young man. Shout out to you.
Yeah, Ben Morrison. When you talk about wow factor,
yeah,
that was a wow factor because it was in the right moment of the game when it was needed. Man, wow. And I think that putting yourself on the stage like that is good, especially highlighting what you said, what we've said on the podcast about the secondary being the premier position or premier group on the defense.
Yeah.
The group that's probably been the most impressive throughout the season, at least most consistent in terms of holding opponents to points where we could still win the game. So I think Cam Hart had a lot of good showing with some great tackles on some of those bubbles that they ran.
Yeah.
Just the aggressiveness coming from our secondary, I think, makes it hard for any team to be let damn near 2-dimensional, let alone 1-dimensional, throwing the football down the field. So
Hey.
Falsky being able to show up and giving DJ a lot to worry about, and then the secondary just making play after play and making it hard to even find passing lanes. I thought we made Clemson receivers look worse than ours. So not that we are bad or anything, but usually Clemson has some pretty good receivers, and we made their passing game look real bad. So
but see, they have big receivers, but they don't have the explosive receiver. They don't have the T. Higgins.
Right.
That type of receiver that's explosive with speed and can run after the catch. They don't have that guy. They don't have Antonio Williams, the true freshman, was the one that scared me. And you saw the move he put on Brandon Joseph in the second series on that quick screen. He hit him with the made the cat Brandon Joseph fall for a minute. But he was the one that scared me. And they did a good job because Tariq was pretty much on him. And then Tariq Tariq Bracy is so good this year.
Yeah, I told you.
So good this year. And the emergence of Benjamin Morrison only makes that group that much better. And then you have the safeties, DJ Brown, playing complementary football. Ramon Henderson coming up with the big hit in the end zone to take away the touchdown, possible touchdown. As a unit, they're just playing really well together. You have to tip your cap to what Chris O'Leary and Mike Nickens have been able to do with that group, what Al Golden has been able to do with the full package and the way he attacked Clemson on Saturday night. Just a great game plan from start to finish.
Great game plan from start to finish, and I'd love to see it all coming together. You can see the coaching staff working well and better together. And this is what we were so excited about going into the season, was to see how everything looked complete.
Yeah.
We wasn't really lacking in coaching because we had all the spots filled. We felt good about where the team's direction was because we had guys coming back. We had guys transferring in. There was excitement on the team's competitiveness and the aggressiveness and how everybody's involved and bought in. And we get to see that displayed on a night like Saturday where it's not just a win. It was a dominant win. We really went in there and bullied the team for the first time in a long time.
We played like we were the number 4 ranked team, bro.
That's right. We played like we were like, oh, y'all ranked over us?
Like, y'all, man, this our house.
Like, who are y'all?
It's our house.
Did y'all get lost?
And we can get rid of that Notre Dame plays better on the road than they do at home.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
But throw that away. Throw that in the trash. Throw that in the trash.
I bet you Clemson don't want to come back.
No, they got to see us again, though.
They're going to see us again.
Yeah.
They don't want to,
We're going to punch you in the mouth.
That's right. That's right. So
y'all can rub that rock, run down the hill, do all of that stuff. Take the bus around, whatever you want to do. You got to see us.
That's right.
In these trenches. Nothing's going to change the next time they see Notre Dame. Nothing.
But I do think, too, we still need to find ways to improve on our ability to get our receivers more involved. I mean, our run game is where it's at, which we all know. We think that it should be 60%, run game, 30% Michael Mayer. But that 10% left has to be productive still. Yeah. You got guys that are just looking like they're out there getting cardio. They're blocking well, but it's like, you would want to see that aspect of the offense grow. We're not saying you got to throw the ball more. We know you'd like to throw the ball if you could.
Yeah.
You've done it before. You've done it 60 times in a game. So I think that it's just going to have to be important for us to keep Chauncey keeping those guys going, keep developing those guys for the time that we can really throw the ball on the outside. Jaden Thomas every week is looking more and more like a tight end. He lining up tight. He crossing the formation. I'm like,
he walked the man into the Clemson sideline, bro. Did you see him block the man into the Clemson sideline?
Yeah.
All the way to the heater on the sideline.
All the way to
They had to go get him up off the kid. And this is how you know Clemson wasn't in it. They just watched their own teammate get blocked to the sideline, and they didn't touch Jaden Thomas. They didn't say anything to him. They just stood there like,
damn, man.
Right. Wait till we talk about this in film.
Yeah. We finna get on you. But but Jaden Thomas is finding ways to play, and that's tight end-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the body size for it. I mean, maybe if Deion Colsley put some weight on like that, he'd be in the game more too. So I think that, it'd just be important. We get some of those guys on the outside to love too.
Marcus Freeman agrees with you, Left. He says they need to improve.
Thing I've learned is that, as what I said earlier, is that it's never how we foresee it on the front end. Care if you go undefeated and win a national championship, or if you're 6-3 and you've lost a couple games that you didn't believe you would have at the start of the year. But you can paint a beautiful picture, right? You can make this thing the way you want as long as you continue. You can't just, as I told the guys, man, this is a spiritual school. We can't just pray and think things are magically going to change. We pray, but you got to put in the work. And you have to be very intentional saying we're not just trusting the process. We have to fix it, and we have to attack the deficiencies that we have. And that's going to be the challenge, even after today. After a great win like this, are we still willing to go and take hard look at ourselves and say, how can I improve as an individual? After a win over a top 5 program, can we still be selfless? Can we tune out all the outside noise? Because it's easy to tune out the outside noise when you're not winning, because it's all negativity, right? But the challenge to this group is, can you tune it out even right now when somebody might pat you on the back and say, you're doing a great job? No. Continue to stay focused. Continue to work on the things that we know it's going to take for us to improve, because that's the challenge every week, to improve.
That man said, we're spiritual school. We pray.
We pray.
But that faith without works is dead. We got to put in this work.
It's not in butts, it's dead.
Right.
If we ain't putting in foots in there, it don't matter.
I love it.
So far.
I love this coach, man. Look, hey, man. Breakups are good for both parties sometimes.
That's cool.
And that's what we got.
That's
Breakups
right.
are good for both parties.
All right,
it's all good. You're gone. You went somewhere else. Cool. We got somebody that wants us. And I love him. I love him. I don't know about the rest of LL Nation. I love this coach, bro.
Yeah.
And the love gets stronger each and every week. Good times, bad times. Because I see his growth. And I see his team. They went out there. They say teams should go on the field and manifest their coach. You saw our team play with swag on Saturday night. You saw our team play with confidence on Saturday night. That's a little bit different. Like, we've seen Notre Dame teams win. But it's been a long time since I've seen a Notre Dame team win like that. With that type of, it was different. Totally different experience. Shout out once again to the Walter Camp Player of the Week, freshman cornerback Benjamin Morrison. And he met with the media after the game and left. We talked about those 2 interceptions he had.
So personally, I've been taught here, whenever you're in that situation, always undercut everything, knowing I got help over the top. So once I undercut it, I knew if he threw it, then he would have to pay for it. So I was praying he was throwing it because the receiver got me off the line. I knew I had to use my speed to catch up. Once I was in the position I undercut it, and there was the ball.
The second one, is it something where did it hang? Did you see that? It looked from the press box. It looked like you could see it.
Yeah, so that one was kind of cool because I've been struggling with that position all year long. Back shoulder fades, just getting my eyes back. So today I was really just focused on the details. And once I had him in the position I wanted to, I could have just played through the man and just PBU. But I trusted in my abilities and flipped my head around. There the ball was. So, yeah.
It's great
Got right
recruiting.
into it.
Just great recruiting, man.
Great recruiting.
Is
Great.
there some Mike Mickens in there that got influence on that position?
It doesn't stop with just the recruiting. Great development, Left. Great development. Great development. Okay? You heard it from the kid. I've been taught here. What did he say? What about that first interception? I've been taught here. Anytime you're in trail technique like that, always undercut it because I got help over the top. Teaching led to that interception, along with the pressure from Justin Adamiola getting up the field. What else? I've been struggling. Back shoulder throws all year. Struggling. Put in the work. Got coached up. Get my head around. Trust my eyes. That's what I did. Caught the ball. Took it to the house. Pick six.
To the house.
Took it to the house. Pick six. Look, man. This coaching staff. And that's what this win was all about. Irish fans, we know this has been a disappointing season. We know about the 2 disappointing losses. That win, this question of the day. Did that win on Saturday eradicate the 2 losses to Stanford and Marshall for you?
No.
Or do you need another win over USC? I just want to ask the question. I just want to ask the question to see what people have to think about it. But I will say this. Kudos to this program, the coaches, the players, everyone. Because that win on Saturday was about you all.
That's right.
Your resiliency, your belief, your togetherness, and your brotherhood was on full display on Saturday night. If we didn't know what type of team you were before Saturday, you showed us. This is the 2022 Notre Dame football team. Regardless of what the record says, 6-3 now, but this is who we are. And that's a darn good football team that has a great chance to beat anybody in the nation on any given Saturday. Sky's the limit for this program. Sky is the limit for this football program. Logan Diggs, my man, put in work. Him and Audrey estimate both over 100 yards. Logan, 17 for 114. That's 6.7 a pop. Audrey, 18 for 104. Just rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, getting my Chris Berman on for 5.8 and a touchdown longer 13. Just punishing the Clemson defense all night long. Even Chris Tyree, 7 for 26. Drew Pine even pulled one for the touchdown left on the RPO. $263 yards on the ground, bro. 5.6 as an average against, once again, an NFL front line that couldn't be run on. Look, man, you called me early. The true story.
True story.
They dropped the punt. Me and Left connect on the phone. Left said, it's over. I said, what? Said they can't stop us. And I'm like, dude, we haven't even scored on offense yet. He was like, I see it. They can't stop us. I'm like, all right, Left, if you say so. You were right. And Logan Diggs told us he knew it early, too.
Kudos to them. Kudos to Coach Harry. They've been attacking all weekend. They know how much is on the line this weekend. I mean, I would think they went out and proved that. They one of the best O-lines in the country this week.
When did you sort of get a sense like, all right, the offensive line and the run game is going to be what you want it to be tonight? How early in the game did you feel it?
I would probably say like maybe after my like third or fourth carry. Like I was when you back there and you getting the ball and you see them pushing them back, and you see them holes open. Like a lot of holes that we had tonight were like we ran through untouched. So kudos to the line again.
And then in the middle, Justin from on third row.
Logan, just going off of that, I'm just curious, what is it like in the huddle when you guys have run play after run play getting called and you're knowing that they're not stopping it?
The O-line probably more excited than everybody else. You know, they like having the game in their hands, and, you know, we always tell them, like, we're only going to go as far as you guys go. So they take that challenge and they run with it, and they do a fantastic job.
Gosh darn it, they should have did that from game one.
Yeah.
But they believed in the upside of Tyler Butler from a game plan standpoint.
Right.
They got caught up in that for the first 2 weeks. The best unit was always this offensive line. Always, when healthy. It's like we said, Jared Patterson's injury at the end of fall camp was huge, especially going in to that Ohio State game. But like you said, by his third or fourth carry, which goes along with what you told me on the phone, Left, it's a wrap. It's out. They can't do anything with us. You can see it. And it was from snap one all the way into the end.
That's right. And I just think that now we've set the bar to the expectation of we can't go back to giving lowly performances starting out the game.
Starts this week.
You know, can't go back to the sorry, play on or lack of tackling or whatever the case may be. We played fast, furious, and how we needed to. And that needs to continue if we want to get to where we want to go.
I'm trying to respond to someone's ignorance right now. But no, seriously, you're right, bro. You're absolutely right. What's your biggest play, biggest moment of the game? I'll tell you mine, because mine is probably like no one's even thinking about this moment, but I thought it was huge.
The biggest moment of the game for me, I think it was just that pick, the first Ben Morrison pick when Cade Klubnik came in. Because in my opinion, I felt like that was the heart we took out of Clemson, because Clemson in the back of their mind feel like, okay, we're trying to ease Cade into our starting position at some point in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in this guy can rally the team, this, that, and the third. He's going to be the guy to get the battery in our back to try to come back. And I think when we picked him off as early as we did and how we did it for a touchdown, that took the heart out of Dabo, because then he was like, okay, it's over. We don't got no answers.
Yeah.
We can't run, can't throw another guy in there that we thought could be the man,
Right.
And the guy we got right now just not cutting it.
Dude, the atmosphere was so crazy, he just snatched Cade Klubnik out. Like, I don't want to break this kid.
Yeah,
he was like, I'll leave him in here. I might not be able to get him back.
Yeah.
They might drown this kid tonight. It's so crazy.
Yeah. We're not even going to do it to him like that.
Yeah. He was like, I'm not doing this to this kid. Not in this atmosphere. Not the way we're playing. And, I have to applaud him. Speaking of Dabo, some thoughts from Dabo Swinney about the game.
Congratulations to Notre Dame. They were outstanding. Just absolutely dominated us in every facet of football, starting with coaching, and, blocking, tackling, you name it, dominated us. And it is what it is. So congratulations to Coach Freeman and his staff. It was a great environment tonight. And again, I always tell our team, you get what you earn. And we earned this tonight for sure. Momentum is tough in a game like this. It's critical, and we lost momentum right out of the gate. And with the block punt touchdown, it was just very simple. We just flat out just didn't do our job, and so that was huge momentum early, and we never got it back. So, the block punt for a score, pick 6, and then another bad interception there to give them the ball on the, whatever, inside the 5 or 10, wherever it was.
It was whatever after a point. He just
those were huge momentum plays, and defensively, we couldn't stop the run, period. And when we did stop the run, it was a ton of time of possession where we pinned them deep on the 5, and if we stopped them, but we were on the 5, and so field position was a real battle all night. And at the end of the day, they were the more physical team, they were the more disciplined team, and I mean, we had stupid penalties. And so, as a result, they were the better coach team, period. There's nothing else I can say. I mean, 14 years as a head coach, we've had bad days. I don't want to overstate, but this is a very disappointing day. And it's my responsibility, and we gave up a score on offense, a score on special teams, and a score on defense. And that's the first time that's happened since I've been head coach. We just got out coached in every facet of the game.
Ooh-wee.
Hashtag Orange Crush, baby. Yeah. 2 weeks in a row, we crushing on that orange. You wear orange uniforms, you're in trouble. You know how the bull, sees the red and he charges. Anytime the offensive line from Notre Dame sees orange in front of it, bro, it's a problem.
We beat that man so bad. I mean, you would have thought he was admitting to cheating on his girl or something. The way he was looking, he was just like,
he looked in bad shape, right?
He was like, man, I don't even know. I don't even want to talk about this game for real, man.
His opening statement was he walked into the assembled media for Clemson and said, I got to tell you something.
Yeah, he was like, look, whatever was out there, he said he couldn't even, it was so many things we beat him on that he was just like, they beat us in every aspect of football. He said, I don't even know what else to say. Everything. They was a more physical team. They was coaching better than us. They was whipping our ass.
Facts.
We even got some penalties in there we did. There was nothing we could do. That's all. The only thing else he could have said was Notre Dame beat us so bad that there was nothing I could have did. I don't know what you want me to do with that. And he said they get what they earn. Oh, do they earn that? That's what they earn?
That's what they earn? They showed up. They showed up. You show up, that's what you get. You walk in here, you walk into Notre Dame Stadium at night.
Right. You show up, that's what you get.
You earn this A whooping. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. We said it 3 weeks ago. Notre Dame needs to develop a healthy disrespect for their opponents, and that's what you saw Saturday night.
Yeah, don't show up like that. Don't show up.
Healthy disrespect. If you have the nerve to be on our schedule at night, this is what you get. Yeah, they earned it. They got on the plane. They earned it. I don't hear about no penalties. I don't hear about none of that.
No, man, none of that. I don't want to hear about none of that. None of that. None of that.
But no, my moment of the game. You're dead right. The punt block set the tone. I totally agree with you, Left. It definitely set the tone. My moment of the game. 14-0 at half. Notre Dame comes out going into the win. They get punt. Clemson gets stopped. They punt the ball and pin Notre Dame inside the 5. 2 runs later by Logan Diggs, Notre Dame is at like their own 40. That, because let me tell you why. It was still 14-zip. Clemson had moved the ball a little bit in their first series before they were forced to punt. They pin Notre Dame and keep Notre Dame inside that 5-yard line and have Notre Dame kicking out of the end zone into that wind. Clemson probably gets the ball on the 30, 35-yard line.
Mm. Yeah, you was watching.
And now they're cooking with grease, right? Maybe they gained some confidence.
Yeah. They
Maybe
didn't have that field
they
position.
build on something, right?
Sure.
Notre Dame pinned offensive line, 2 runs, flips the field. Now they put Clemson. Notre Dame doesn't get points, but they flip the field and they put them back where they have to go the long distance to be able to score. And then everything goes back to what we saw in the first half. That right there was a huge moment in the game. To be backed up, going into that wind that could have played into things if they didn't move the ball. And that Notre Dame offensive line, literally in 2 snaps, changed the entire perception of what Clemson was trying to do right there in any momentum that was trying to be built by the Tigers. Big time moment. I know it's not as big as the block punt, but in my opinion, it was just as important on the outcome of that game and how the second half flowed from that point on.
Yeah, I mean that definitely was a game changer too. I mean, just for Clemson to just be just in shambles. They couldn't ever get their footing. They was always
disheartened. It was disheartened.
And when they couldn't get those 3 and outs and they started to see that point margin increase.
Yeah.
Like, what we doing here, man?
Yeah.
What we doing here?
Yeah. They were disheartened, man. It was like every opportunity or crack they thought they had, Notre Dame was right there to answer.
Yeah.
Notre Dame was right there to snatch it. Now, from that point on, man, you saw pure dominance. And then, they scored some points at the end. Dude, the consecutive PIs that they got from the refs, these ACC refs are the worst. They've been the worst all year long. They've just been bad, man. And Marcus Freeman, I'm shocked he didn't still on one of the refs, dude, because there's Drew Pine, that was definitely a personal foul on Drew Pine.
Yeah.
Stopped it to review for targeting. Bare minimum, it should have been a personal foul, 15 yards. Bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Just ridiculous, man, all night long. All night long. Just absolutely ridiculous. Lucky Lefty podcast. Climb to 3,000. Continues. Share. Hit that like button. And then subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll be in tune with the Lucky Lefty podcast. Follow us at Lucky Lefty Pod on Twitter and Instagram. SD2 Mics on Twitter for myself. Lucky at Malik Zaire. 8 on Twitter. Overtime Malik on Instagram. It was a great weekend in college football. Great game from LSU, Alabama. And I don't care what anyone says. Georgia has the best 2 wins of the college football season. And neither of them were close at all. They beat the hell out of Oregon, and they beat the hell out of Tennessee. Hey, man. That cat Kirby trying to go for that back-to-back, bro. He's trying to get his Drake on.
Yeah, with style. He's trying to do it with style.
Dude. Hey, what they did to Tennessee. And shout out to Brian Kelly for using that 2014 Florida State play on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he shout out to Corey Robinson, man. They robbed us then. They ain't robbed him then.
Yeah, they definitely robbed you all. That game is still a sense of ire or a point of contention for Notre Dame fans. And it pretty much was the cliff for that 2014 season, because after that, things started going bad in a major way. You know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
We did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you. You don't? No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, Petty Stories of the Day, presented by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you drink
responsibly.
Hey, man, you remember that guy from Clemson, part of the Clemson media? And I put out the quote last Monday that we're just going to have to dominate teams in orange for a second straight week. He called himself putting me on the spot, retweeting me and saying, Notre Dame media guys put his foot in it. You remember that guy, P. Warren Brown? P. Warren Brown, at P. Warren Brown?
Mr. P. Warren.
Media, ND, beat writer, just put his foot in it. I'm like, immediately I responded like, foot in what exactly? So when I, tried to reach out to him early Sunday morning, he crickets.
What? Wait a minute. Where'd he go? Is he on vacation or?
He's on the petty train today.
Oh, that's what he got to for.
He's on the petty / coward train today. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna talk that trash show up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't run from Ohio State fans after the game. We talked that talk. We had to walk it after the game. Where you at? P. Warren Brown. I don't want to sick LL Nation on you, but I need a reply.
Yeah, I need a reply.
I need some type of reply.
Because what did
What's
we
good
step
with
into? A new day?
I still want to know what did I put my foot in? I know Notre Dame put that foot in y'all.
Yeah.
That's what I do know.
Foots and butts.
Notre Dame put their entire foot in that Clemson. Yeah.
That's what we stepped into.
Yeah. Petty train.
Yeah.
LeBron James. Just stop lying, man. Stop lying. Stop lying, man. Stop holding books you never read. Don't know one scene from The Godfather. Stop lying, man.
Lying.
Stop. Just stop.
You can't do it, bro.
Stop
Talk about
lying,
a hip-hop
man.
historian. How you a hip-hop historian?
I'm a hip-hop historian. I told people about the Migos in 2010, bruh. They didn't put anything out until 2011. Look, man.
You be
LeBron.
You make it hard to like you as a fan.
All the time is winning in your brain and on the court, too. You ain't the same. Lucky Lefty podcast. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about Marcus Freeman's presence.
Stop lying,
in the CFB weekend.
Golly.